Can we get much higher? So high. Can we get much higher? So high. Can we get much higher?
Well, we woke up in the morning in Scurry Creek. We got woken up by a big thunderstorm. I don't think it rained that much, but there was a lot of thunder, and I think Lee was getting a little bit scared, and he just went with, "Oh dear, behave."
There's been thunder and lightning all night. The thunder being the loudest I've ever heard. It seemed like it was right over our heads for the whole night. Extraordinary stuff.
The thunder was rolling in all through the night, and every time there was a clap of thunder, I could hear from my tent, Lee going, "Oh, behave." That was really disturbing.
I woke up early morning and I was like, these boys aren't getting up. But Andy was up because he's a good lad. And I was like, "You want to go for a drive, Andy?" And he's like, "Yeah, right."
We decided we'd go for a drive, have a look around at Eden, which is a nearby town to Scrubby Creek. And there was a nice beach there, some really purple rocks.
We thought, oh, let's go up to these real sort of red, sort of nice cliffs. Real red cliffs. And we were like, these look alright. And we got up there and there was a little bit of a saltwater pool in there. So I went for a bit of a swim. That was real nice sort of swim. The water was a little bit cool, but so much warmer than back in home.
Well, I've woken up in Scrubby Creek and I've realised my lolo's flat. So there must be some kind of leak in my lolo. So this isn't great because I'm going to have to sleep on this lolo for many more nights in the ECRT. And it's got a leak, so I'm not very happy about this.
Well, when we woke up, Liam and Andy had just decided to go on a little date to Eden.
But we didn't know, so then when we got up we didn't know where they were.
And then we found out that they went to Eden just for a little trip by themselves, which I wasn't sure about.
And there was a cool cutout pool in the rocks, and I really wanted to go swimming in the pool. But they just went by themselves, and I texted them and said, "Where are you?" And then they said Eden. I was just like, "Oh, fuck you guys."
Now, I was teaching Andy how to do a little bit of skateboarding.
Learned to do a little bit of skating. Lee taught me how to push yourself along the board, which I'd never done before.
And he was pretty good. You know, at first he was struggling. He was like getting on the board and falling over, but after 3 or 4 times, he really got into it. And I was real proud to see him skateboarding along that walkway. And then we went to Eden Skate Park and I was hitting up a few slopes, real gnarly sort of stuff, real tight sort of stuff. So then we went back,
Paddy answered this.
and then all the boys, they were up and about, so we packed up the tents and we hit the road.
We went to Panborough and Lee, I think, thought it was a really good beach, but then we went down there, it was far too windy to go to the beach. So then we went back to the footy oval and may or may not have got a trick shot. Then we went up to this nice little quiet town called Cobargo. There was no one on the streets, it was real sort of quiet. And we went to this shop and I think we got some rolls and I think I got an apple.
Now, what happened there was, we got some rolls for lunch, and Paddy got one singular apple, which is a bit weird, but we'll go with it.
Well, we went to Carbargo, and that was a little historic town. And that was real nice sort of setup. I got the little gas burner out and I had some little noodle, and that was nice. I like that town.
Now we were driving up the road, listening to the Ashes, and Australia, we were in Barney, but oh boy, we were hitting back. Real sort of back, wicket after wicket. after wicket after wicket after wicket.
On the onside, he's gone.
No.
He's got a short leg. Ryan, the bowler. Smith, the catcher. England 5 for 87.
How's that? You messed about, I caught you out. How's that? Now that I've found where you're at, it's goodbye.
The umpires decision in England a couple of times, didn't he?
It's
It was a very, very long way. How many replays do they need? Oh, this will go. Out! Lion is on a hat-trick. And Clark on first ball. Woohoo!
So we decided we'd head to Nowra at the end of day 4, but as we were driving along we heard on the radio warnings of storms coming in the Sydney area.
Oh dear, we're going to be camping the night. We better set up our tents. So we went into Bateman's Bay.
So we went to this campsite and the woman was like, "Oh, you can't stay here, it'll flood." And we don't have any places that won't flood.
So we went to this other caravan park, and they were like, "Yeah, you can stay here." We were like, "Alright."
It was starting to rain. I was stressing out. I was like, oh boy, it's gonna rain here. We got to get this tent up real quick.
And it was like, oh, the storm's coming in like 5 minutes. But it didn't even come. What a twist.
On that day, it was the first discovery of a very famous beer, Tooheys New. Now, Andy was like, when we went to buy beers at the bottle shop, Andy was like, "What about Tooheys New? I've never had that before." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, I don't mind it." So then we got Tooheys New, and me and Andy split it, and turns out, one of the actual better beers.
We went and got some fish and chips, and I think Dupe and Cale got a large chips to themselves, and me and Andy, maybe a bit ambitiously, tried to share a large chips.
But Paddy and Andy, I mean, well, Andy did alright, but Paddy just really struggled through his half of a large chips.
And we went to some little surf beach. I think it was called Surf Beach.
Dropped in, hit a nice section, and then sent spray for about probably 50 metres down the beach.
And we got some Paddy.
So that was fun. And then that night we had a bit of a camp sing-along and sunk a few tinnies. And yeah, that's about it.
Paddy Fisher. Because, you know, we were chilling in the car all day together, me and him, and we were really bonding.
Paul, because he was up nice and early when I was.
To Andy, because when we were at Bateman's Bay, he let us watch famous footage that I hadn't seen before of Andy's first time drunk.
Day 4 goes to Andy. On the night of day 4, he's allowed this footage to be played without getting too angry.
The Dupe. Now we all know the Dupe's a big eater, but he really showed it this day with just absolutely destroying those large chips.
Andrew Fair, because he discovered Tooheys New, the best beer of all time.
Paddy, at this stage, he still hasn't got his voice back. He's not eating many chips. He's just, I don't think I've heard from him for the whole day. So, come on, Paddy, you must lift.
I don't get my worst on the cab for sleeping in Liam's car.
Paddy Fisher, because at Bateman's Bay we got our fish and chips, and we decided we'd go halves in at chips, and he hardly ate any chips.
The night. Because you were sleeping again in the car.
Pigfish 4. I mean, what are you doing buying a singular apple at this supermarket in Cobargo? And also, couldn't even eat half a large chips.
The North. So when we were checking into the caravan park at Bateman's Bay, he couldn't really talk properly to the woman over the counter, and we got some real weird sort of names on the sign-up sheets. That was real weird sort of setup from the North.
Can we get much higher?